Welcome to the Plain Books Podcast. Today we're diving into a really interesting one, the ABCs of success.
Yeah, it's presented as this sort of personal guide to achievement.
Exactly. And it's not your typical read-through self-help book. It's structured A to Z with these bite-sized chapters.
Packed with stories, anecdotes, and some pretty powerful quotes, too.
Right, all designed to, get you thinking and, more importantly, get you moving.
Spark action, shift your perspective, that kind of thing.
So our mission today is to unpack some of those core ideas. We'll dig into the stories, highlight some quotes that really jumped out.
And we'll try to cover a good range reflecting that A to Z structure. Sound good?
Sounds great. So where does the book kick things off?
Well, fittingly, it starts with D for decision-making. It positions this as the absolute first step in developing personal power.
Okay, decision-making. What's the angle?
It makes a really strong point, quoting Aldous Huxley, actually, that the fear of making a mistake often does more damage than the mistake itself.
That rings true. We get paralyzed by indecision sometimes.
Exactly. And it observes that successful people tend to decide quickly. But then, importantly, they change those decisions slowly. They commit.
Decide quickly, change slowly. Okay.
The core idea is that potential, personal power, it only moves into action once a decision is made.
So the decision is the trigger. That leads nicely into A for action, I imagine.
It does. And the book draws a sharp contrast here between taking action and, well, just positive thinking on its own.
Right. Thinking positive thoughts is good, but it's not enough.
Not according to this book. It shares a fable attributed to Earl Nightingale about the devil's most prized tool.
Oh, yeah. What was it?
The wedge of discouragement.
Discouragement. Why that?
It leads to inaction. It makes people give up before they even start or just stop trying. It's insidious.
That makes sense. It just drains your energy.
Precisely. And the book's antidote, intelligent action. It even says doubt of whatever kind can be ended by action alone.
Wow. Action cuts through doubt. I like that.
It's a recurring theme. Knowing something isn't the same as living it. The book is pretty critical of self-help that just stays in your head.
So it's about bridging that gap between knowing and being.
Exactly. Integrating knowledge into experience. Positive thought is great, but positive thought combined with positive action, that's powerful.
And it talks about winners being doers.
Yeah, people who don't just see opportunities but actually act on them, sometimes waking others up in the process. Winning becomes a habit built through action.
What about when goals feel huge, overwhelming?
The advice is clear. Don't ditch the goal, adjust the action steps. Break it down, keep moving.
Practical. And ultimately, your actions define you.
That's the bottom line the book presents. What you do shapes your reality.
Okay, from action to ambition. A again.
Yeah, right. And this is about setting those big, exciting goals. Think big, with the kind of enthusiasm a baby has exploring the world.
Okay, like that boundless energy.
Yeah, and it uses that powerful Tennyson quote, to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield.
A classic call to keep pushing.
And interestingly, it encourages developing a healthy dissatisfaction with where you are now.
Healthy dissatisfaction. How does that work?
It's not about being miserable, but about recognizing potential, wanting growth. Big results, the book argues, require big ambitions. You can't play small and win big.
That dissatisfaction becomes fuel. Okay, next up, attitude. It gets a lot of play early on.
It does. Attitude is presented as our gift, this incredible, almost godlike power we have to change our environment by changing our internal state.
So our outer world reflects our inner world.
That's the core idea. Our surroundings often mirror our attitudes and expectations. It suggests we waste energy defending being right.
Instead of just finding a better way forward.
Exactly. And it touches on reciprocity. Our attitude towards others influences their attitude towards us.
Makes sense. Even disagreements can be productive if the attitude is right.
Right. Honest disagreement can signify progress, the book says.
Then it tackles frustration and aggression. What's the take there?
Key insight. Aggression is often a learned response, which means it can be unlearned. The advice, pretty simple. Rise above it.
Choose a different response. Control your attitude.
Yes, and it follows with a strong statement. Nothing can stop a person with the right mental attitude. It connects to this idea of our attitude being the last of our human freedoms.
Even when circumstances are tough?
Especially then. And any positive action it reinforces needs that foundation of a positive vision.
Okay, C for change. How does the book approach that?
It argues real change starts by tackling our dominant beliefs, the ones that might be limiting our awareness without us even realizing it.
Like invisible fences?
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
It uses the analogy of false beliefs creating a cage. Things like believing potential is inherently unequal.
So challenge those limiting beliefs.
Yes. Cultivate constructive thoughts and, crucially, an unflinching will. It uses Wernher von Braun sending a rocket to the moon as an example. It was the sheer will to do it.
The power of focused intention.
Absolutely. And it frames happiness and success, not as things you chase outside, but as gifts you give yourself through your mindset.
Moving on to P for problems. This should be interesting.
It's a fascinating perspective. The book basically says problems are mental. They don't exist outside of us.
Whoa. So stress isn't caused by the situation, but by our thinking about the situation.
That's the argument, which is empowering because it means we can choose our thoughts.
So view problems objectively, don't catastrophize, and act on them now.
Exactly. And taking responsibility for our problems, owning them, is presented as a major milestone in maturity.
The book also touches on intuition, right? The I.
It does. It emphasizes needing feedback to build confidence in using intuition. It's not just a vague feeling.
You need to test it, see the results.
Right. And it notes that wise people ask the right questions, but just as important is listening carefully to the answers, whether from others or from your own experience.
Okay, compensation. See again. Does it just mean money?
It's broader, but it poses a direct question. Are you doing more than you're currently paid for?
Uh-oh. Challenging.
It suggests those who consistently deliver more value are the ones who ultimately get rewarded. The economy, it says, works on do the job, then you get the money. Value first.
So exceeding expectations pays off in the long run.
That's the idea. Build reputation, repeat business, advances your career. It's an investment.
What about self-confidence?
Defined simply as knowledge. Knowing your stuff, knowing yourself. It's presented as essential for a fulfilled life.
Knowledge builds confidence. Makes sense.
And it contrasts this with doubt, quoting Shakespeare about doubts being traitors. The key message: action breeds confidence and courage. Do the thing, and you'll gain the confidence.
Get out of your head and into action again. Okay, C for creativity.
Presented not as some exclusive gift for artists, but as a universal human trait we all have.
So everyone can be creative.
Yes. The book urges you to develop that potential for a fuller life. It warns against just following the crowd, saying the creative path leads to new places.
Don't just conform, innovate.
Exactly. Then it circles back to decision-making briefly.
Reinforcing the earlier point.
Yeah, hammering home that fear of mistakes is often the real barrier, and that successful people decide quickly. And adding a crucial tip. Don't bring problem-solving into the decision stage.
Yang.
Don't get bogged down in all the potential what-ifs before you even commit. Make the decision, then figure out how to handle challenges as they arise. Avoid paralysis by analysis.
Got it. Decide, then solve. What about intelligence?
The book argues intelligence alone isn't the key. What's more crucial is the ability to actually get things done. Execution.
So smarts aren't enough without action.
Right. Millions are held back, it suggests, not by lack of brains, but lack of follow-through.
Effort. I bet I know what this says.
Probably. It's straightforward. Effort is worth it. Every accomplishment has a price. Greatness requires sacrifice.
No shortcuts.
Nope. It quotes Booker T. Washington. Nothing ever comes to one that is worth having, except as a result of hard work.
Simple truth. Okay, E for entrepreneurialism.
This one asks a bold question. If your income goals are really high, why not start your own company?
Puts the onus on you.
Yeah. It reminds you, every company, big or small, was started by someone taking that leap. It's about creating your own opportunity.
Then there's excellence. Another E.
Explored through the story of Michelangelo. His constant refinement, obsession with detail.
Trifles make perfection, but perfection is no trifle.
Exactly that sentiment. Perfection might be unattainable, but striving for it, that continuous improvement, is the essence of excellence.
Experience. Yet another E.
Oliver Wendell Holmes quoted, "Experience expands the mind." And there's a powerful story about someone facing business failure.
But they didn't give up.
No. Their faith, their inner conviction was stronger than the evidence of failure all around them. It shows we're bigger than setbacks.
Resilience. Then the terror barrier.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's that intense fear and resistance you feel when you try to make a big change, step way outside your comfort zone into the unknown.
Oh, I know that feeling.
We all do. The book says pushing through it is key to freedom and growth. Avoiding it leads to missed opportunities and can even erode self-respect.
Face the fear. It also warns about the chatter of the masses.
Yeah, basically urging mental awareness to avoid getting sucked into unproductive gossip, negativity, or just meaningless noise. Stay focused.
Protect your mental energy. Okay, freedom.
Presented as an internal power, the ability to remove the mental shackles that bind us.
So freedom starts within.
That's the idea. Problems only have the power we give them. Freedom lies in being bold and taking charge of your inner world. Money doesn't create success, it says. The freedom to make it does.
Interesting distinction. Goals, always important in these kinds of books.
Absolutely central here.
Yeah.
Goals give life meaning, make it an adventure. The key differentiator. Setting clear, written goals and reviewing them daily.
Writing them down makes it different.
A huge difference, according to the book. It separates the successful from the unsuccessful. Keeps you focused.
Growth, another G.
Essential. The book argues you never truly arrive. You're either growing, improving, or you're sliding backward. Change is constant.
So complacency is dangerous.
Very dangerous. Can lead to downfall. Continuous growth gives meaning to everything else. Achievement, success.
Habit.
George Washington Carver's quote is used here. Habit is about doing common things in an uncommon way. Excellence in the everyday.
And repetition builds the habit.
Exactly. Repetition turns conscious effort into an automatic reflex. That's how mastery is built.
Happiness. H again. How do we achieve that?
Actively fight staleness. Act the part of the happy, successful person you want to be. See things from the customer's view, empathy, and consciously say something positive to everyone you meet.
Small actions, big impact on mood.
Seems to be the suggestion. Maintain that zest for life.
Imagination.
It grows with exercise, like a muscle, powerful in maturity. High achievement requires high expectations, imagining big possibilities.
Don't wait to have it all figured out.
No, the how will emerge through action. Dream lofty dreams, it encourages.
Individualism, another I.
Champion strongly. Find and develop your unique spark, quoting Henry Ford. Conformity is called the opposite of courage, via Earl Nightingale.
Be yourself, essentially. Don't just follow the herd.
Right. Challenge assumptions. What's common sense today might be proven wrong tomorrow.
Law of attraction, L. That's a popular concept.
The book frames it simply. You attract what is in harmony with you. Your thoughts control your mental vibration. Choose to attract good.
Focus determines reality, in a sense.
That's the essence of it. Leadership, L.
What defines a leader here?
The ability to lead and persuade. But true leaders are self-starters. They're humble. They have emotional control. They don't just command, they point the way.
More about influence than authority. Management.
Interesting take here. It says we're all two people. The facade we show the world and our real selves.
The persona and the person.
Exactly. An effective manager helps people integrate those two aspects, helps them be more authentic and unified.
That's a deeper view of management. Mental power.
The core message is, we vastly underutilize it. Our brain is this incredible tool for thinking, building ideas, transforming our lives. We need to use it more consciously.
Tap into that potential. Motivation. M again.
It can come from simple things, like reminders of past wins, trophies, plaques. But there's a caution.
Which is?
Be aware that sometimes others might resist your positive changes. Don't let them pull you back.
And don't let circumstances dictate your motivation.
Right. Avoid those because statements that give away your power. I can't because. High achievers make things happen despite circumstances. Find opportunity where you are.
Persistence. P. This feels crucial.
Absolutely vital. The book pulls no punches. Many talented people quit. Persistence alone is omnipotent. It quotes that famous passage, talent won't do it, genius won't, education won't. Only persistence and determination are all powerful.
So just don't quit on your dreams.
Never. That's the core message. Personal power. P. This comes from experiencing life, removing internal resistance. It introduces Proctor's law.
Proctor's law.
If something can go right, it will. An optimistic framing, commit fully, expect good things.
Interesting twist on Murphy's law. Law of opposites. L.
A brief mention. Just that there are two sides to everything in this orderly universe. Duality.
Encourages balanced perspective. It's never too late. N.
A message of hope. Quoting Kettering, we're just at the beginning of progress. Your future is determined by today's decisions, not yesterday's limitations. Consult your hopes, not your fears.
Always room for a fresh start. Opportunity.
Often abundant right where you are, in your current field or industry. The key is to become an expert. Give it your all.
Don't always need to look elsewhere. Professionals. P.
What makes a professional? Doing the little things in a great way every day. competing with yourself, always improving.
Constant self-improvement. Question. Q. What should we question?
The idea of being satisfied. It says discontent is the first necessity of progress. Challenge the status quo, especially your own.
Healthy dissatisfaction again. Public speaking. Any tips?
Yes, very specific ones. Deliver without reading a script. Know your topic inside out. Write it. Then visualize it as mental pictures in familiar places.
Like a memory palace.
Sort of. Then just describe those pictures to your audience. Focus on making them feel something, not just hear facts.
Engage emotionally. Remembering names.
Simple.
Yeah.
Crucial. Make the effort. It matters.
Builds connection. Risk. R.
Playing it too safe often leads to regret later. Resolution is key. Quotes Lincoln, "Your own resolution to succeed is more important than any one thing."
Commit fully to your goals. Self-image. Sess.
Shaped by your self-talk, that inner dialogue. Consciously direct it positively. Build yourself up in your own mind.
Manage your internal narrative.
Right.
Self-improvement.
Requires consistent study and practice. Masters stand out, get rewarded. Quotes Shakespeare, "Knowledge is power. Keep learning."
Lifelong learning. Setting goals. Sess.
Requires two things. Quoting Mario Andretti, desire and a relentless commitment to excellence. Want it badly and pursue it fiercely.
Passion plus dedication. The power within.
This is huge. See failure as temporary defeat, not the end. Crises often come before breakthroughs. Eliminate failure from your vocabulary.
Reframe setbacks.
Exactly. There's no problem outside you that's greater than the power within you. Trust your inner resources.
Thinking.
A magnificent tool. Echoing Viktor Frankl, we have the freedom to choose our thoughts. Consciously think about what you want, not what you fear or dislike.
Focus on the positive outcome.
And that Napoleon Hill quote, "More gold has been mined from the thoughts of men than has been taken from the earth." Ideas are valuable.
Vision.
A mental picture of your desired life. If others can achieve something great, so can you. It references Don Quixote's idealism, challenging dull realism.
See beyond the current reality.
Yes. James Allen is quoted, "Visionaries are the saviors of the world. Dream big, see possibilities."
Values.
Chosen and developed by you, they're key to a fulfilling life. If your work doesn't align with your values, doesn't feel worthwhile or pleasurable, maybe consider a change.
Don't settle for less than you're capable of.
Exactly. Quotes Mandela on not playing small. Life's too short.
The work's never completed.
W.
If you're moving forward, there's always more to do. Don't rush frantically. Just work steady, be effective. The graveyard's full of people who never got everything done. Find peace in the process.
Focus on progress, not perfection. Worry. W.
Present it as choosing negative thoughts. And statistically, 92% of what you worry about never happens anyway.
So let it go.
Pretty much. Don't worry, be happy. That's the simple advice.
Wow, that's a whirlwind tour through the alphabet of success. We've really only scratched the surface here.
Absolutely. Each chapter, though concise, packs a real punch. It's a dense collection of insights.
And it's clearly designed for you, the listener, to actively engage with. This isn't a passive read.
Definitely not. We really do encourage you to get your hands on the ABCs of success. Consider buying it, having it there as a reference.
Yeah, something you can dip into when you need a specific reminder or a boost. And, many authors these days are active online. Look for the author, maybe on social media. Share what you think as you read. Engage with the ideas.
That's a great point. Make it interactive.
But the real value, of course, comes from application.
Right. Taking these ideas off the page and into your life.
So here's a challenge for you listening. Take one or two principles we talked about today, or others you find when you read the book, something that really resonated.
Just one or two key things.
Yeah. And consciously try to apply them in the next few days. See what happens. Let these ideas actively enhance your life.
A practical takeaway.
Yeah.
I like it. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the ABCs of success.
We hope it sparked some aha moments for you, gave you some valuable nuggets to think about.
And maybe some motivation to act on them.
Hopefully. If you enjoyed this conversation, if you found it insightful, please do follow and subscribe to the Playing Books podcast. We do these deep dives regularly.
And please share this episode with anyone you think might benefit from exploring these ideas about success and personal growth.
Thanks for listening.